She's so sweet. She's so sweet when she's sleeping. Alicia's in there with her. It is Thursday morning, and we are getting ready to head out the door. When I say we, Casey and Damek and I. He's headed for
a neurofunctional chiropractor.
Yeah, neurofunctional chiropractor. There we go. We're getting some coffee. He's eating his breakfast, and we're loading in the car and rolling out because the place is about 30, 45 minutes away, depending on how fast you drive. So, see you in the car. So, Casey, what is a neurofunctional chiropractor? Why are we going
there? Neurofunctional chiropractor is a doctor who's both a doctor of neurology and a doctor of chiropractic. And they look at complex systems like the brain, and if there's deficits or issues, they do a lot of like combined PT, chiropractic, sensory integration, all kinds of different therapies into one session. And the theory is like you're kind of treating the root problem instead of the symptom.
Okay.
So for example, someone who has attention deficit hyperactivity disorder or ADHD, someone who has mild or high functioning autism, dyslexia, speech impediments, stuff like that, they claim to make those a lot better.
Okay.
So we're going for Damek's first visit to help him and
function a little better.
Yeah.
Basically.
He's actually never been to a chiropractor, so I'm kind of excited to see how he does. And it'll be really fun for him. There's lots of, they have games and balls and different things he climbs on. There's a trampoline. It'll be really cool. Do you remember your doctor's name?
Dr. Damek.
Yeah.
Do you like my shirt?
Love it. I am a racing junkie, dude.
Me too.
I'll show you pictures of mine. Checking all your reflexes. So, see what I get right here? Get your fingers down. Get your hand jumps. That's telling me if your muscles are working. Yep. Tells me if they're working as they should. That's right.
What did you just say?
I said I just really enjoy our lifestyle right now. I said we're so lucky that we can be here to support Damek and give him what he needs. Hi. And the fact that we can both be here is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Like, not a lot of people get to spend as much time together as we do, which I think is really great.
Yeah. And see, we try to remember to be grateful for it as often as possible because we know how lucky we are. We'll just put it that way.
Well, and I think it takes a little bit of effort to sink into gratitude at first because we're just not used to doing it. But I was sitting here and I was like, kind of a deep breath. Oh, it's so nice. It's nice we get to just be here to support him, and Hudson's at home with Alicia, and I don't know, just give our kids the attention they need.
Yeah. There's a reason that our first shirt had miracles on it.
Yeah.
And then our second shirt had gratitude. Can you tell them why gratitude was one of the shirts?
Yeah, because in the first year that we had Hudson, our therapist basically said to, write down 3 daily gratitudes to help us with our frustrations and depression, and just it was a hard year, and so I started doing that, and I did that for 7 or 8 years straight. Every day wrote 3 daily gratitudes. So we put it on a shirt because it's a reminder that even when things are really hard, there's still room to find gratefulness in your life.
Some days she was just glad that she was breathing.
Some days I was glad I got a shower.
Yeah.
Fresh socks.
It was shown that if you do that consistently, that you can change the way your brain works and figure out. how to be grateful for what you do have. And it was pretty hard to be grateful that first couple of years.
It felt unnatural
Yeah.
because we had a lot of negative emotions about it. It's
Yeah.
hard.
So now it's just a big part of our life. So what did you tell me?
There's this really cool thing. A computer could see my eyes move. So when I looked at something, like there's a green dot.
Yeah?
Yep.
And it knew where your eyes moved?
Yep.
That's pretty cool.
Fun.
Yep.
Yep. Okay.
What else did you do?
I spinned and he was looking into my eyes. And we did this thing where I had something on my hand and I clapped when I heard a beep.
Oh yeah, metronome.
Yep.
Good.
Okay, so when it comes to how we tackle these kids, we look at everything from sheerly a developmental standpoint. So think of development like a tree. A tree at any point in its life is always going to be working on all aspects of its health, but at different points in its life, it's going to work on different things. Like early on in its life, it's got to work on its roots. Later on, roots are pretty good, and then it's focusing on leaves. So when it comes to development, everything that we want out of our kids are social, emotional, cognitive skills, and then even physical skills. You know, we want them being smart and bright and social and emotionally well-regulated and physically awesome, and we just want them to be superheroes. Those four major aspects all rely on proper development, which starts with actually motor function. Motor function builds the brain. So the first thing that has to develop are these things called primitive reflexes. I'm sure you guys are aware of these, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's about 26 to 30 primitive reflexes, and then there's another, I don't know, 25, 30-ish maybe of these postural reflexes. Anyway, when it comes to these reflexes, they're important because if they stick around when they're not supposed to be around any longer, which by the way, they come at the point of conception or age, just from being born up, and then they need to be gone by age 1. If they stick around, it's gonna wreak havoc on motor development. And they act a lot like a knee-jerk reflex in that regard.
Can close that door, please?
There's no
Because it's
there's
noisy.
no brain function involved with these. It's all under the hood. Yeah, it's kind of hard to close. You have to just
Daddy's having a hard time hearing.
crack it. Either way, we need them gone. So now, with the ones that we test, he showed up with 8 of them. They're all mild, kind of moderate, but they're there. So the ones that are really wreaking havoc on him are, the worst ones here are his spinal collant, which adds to his fidgetiness.
Okay.
His ATNR, which adds to some of his spatial awareness, his ability to move his eyes properly. Then his Landau, which is going to contribute to, again, postural related things like spatial awareness. And I guess a little bit of this guy, because he's got a little bit of a lifts going on, and that can be contributing as well with that rooting reflex. So these are very important, but I won't go too into depth in them because there's a whole host of information online, and you can certainly go to our website. And then in fact, there's Instagram series and all sorts of stuff that we've done for these, and that goes over all of them pretty in depth.
Okay.
But just so you guys do know that these are the ones that are wreaking havoc on him here. I guess a little bit of that one, that Moreau, that straddle reflex. So depending on what you guys want to do, these can get tackled at home, or we work on them here, regardless, because, well, we want them gone.
Okay.
The magical question of why are they around when they shouldn't be, especially since he's undergone a lot of therapy, and if they've been addressed directly or not directly. In my opinion, he still holds on to these because the next thing that has to develop for him, which is gross and core motor strength, is unfortunately his is down a little bit. So his muscle tone is down, and that's why we find these things really hanging on. He's approaching the age where we won't necessarily work on all of these all the time and hound him when we know that this is down, because these start to develop and these come online to start developing what's called the muscle twitch, which develops muscle tone. Sometimes we have to work backwards and work on his core and gross motor skills to get his tone up, and that gets rid of those. What goes on with the ATNR is if you've held them as babies or hung out with babies, when a baby turns their head or they roll, they're going to take their limbs and they're going to move them like this. And what's going on is they're just trying to get a muscle activity, a twitch to occur to start building brain function. So the more baby moves, the more the brain is developing. That's like the secret to babies, let them move. So with all of that, if that ATNR stays online, and every time a child will move his head or her head, they're going to turn their head and then their body's going to go with it. So they're not able to separate their head from their body. So every time they move their torso or the body, their head's going to go with. So then if they can't separate their head from their body, they're not going to be able to separate their eyes from their head, which is his next step, which I'll go over. And then they're not going to be able to volitionally separate their eyes from their head, have proper ocular motor development, which is later on.
Okay, so that was a cool visit. Of course, I didn't show everything. I've clipped it up, hopefully. I mean, I haven't edited this yet, but I've clipped it up so it's a much shorter take summary of the information. So that should be starting pretty soon. Did you enjoy that, Damek? Well, that doesn't sound like you enjoyed it.
I did.
Well, that doesn't sound like it.
He's tired. Are you tired?
I know you had to sit there and wait during all the talking, but what about the part when we weren't in there? When you were just in there with him? Was that fun?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm tired.
All right. Well, we'll get you home so you can take a nap.
I don't want to take a nap.
Well, I thought you were tired.
I'm not that kind of tired.
Oh, not that kind of tired.
Like the tired. Where you...
There's a different kind of tired?
No. I don't want to take a nap.
Okay. We'll see.
Just tired because I did a lot of stuff.
Okay. It is 1:30 and loading up, I'm going to start this fan and it's going to beep for a minute. Okay, so Hudson and I are heading out for her swimming therapy appointment, but I think that we've covered a lot for one episode already, and otherwise I think this episode is going to end up being like 30 or 40 minutes long, and I don't even know if my computer will hold that much footage for me to edit. So I'm going to end the vlog for the day here, and then I think I'm going to start a second vlog for today from here on. So that being said, this time I'm going to close out just myself because I don't know that if I have a closeout from any hopesters right now. So I am going to just tell you guys that to the world you may be one person, but to one person you may be the world. So go be somebody's world. And Hudson and I are headed for swimming, and I hope we see you in the next episode where we just gonna Well, we're just gonna pick up right where we are right here, where we left off. That'll probably be in another day or so because I have to like adjust all the footage, edit it, get it posted, then get it off my computer so I've got room to make another episode. So that's how that goes. Thanks for watching. Bye. You happy back there, Shugs? Daddy went the wrong way. Dick nabbit. Went the wrong way. We gotta turn around. I'm used to going this way.